in the world. And Ramingining, also the area is famous for its advocacy of native title land rights and cultural rights as well. So it was as art consult advisor at Bula-bula Arts at Ramingining that John conceived of the idea of the Aboriginal Memorial for the bicentennial in 1988. And that really was a project that was as remarkable as it was, one, you know, as we all know, one pole representing each year of white occupation. He says that what he looks at it for in art is a gestalt, a holistic gesture and response, and honesty in art. So thanks, John, for tripping down the line.
Now, I've seen this place open. I've spent a lot of time around here, not in a bar or in a brothel, but I used to stay at another art hotel around the corner, and I've watched this space take form here as an art gallery. The two women in the show are two women of the North. It sounds like a movie title from the 1950s. Obviously Anthony Quinn would have a role in that too, Woman of the North. But there are two women from the North, and it's really interesting how they, we talked about dualities and binaries with the Bennelong and Pemulwuy rock engravings of Cain and Abel, or a balance between two sides of things and two reactions, and how, in fact, despite two different lifestyles, without being too cliched, two different lifestyles and two life paths of two Aboriginal women in the north of Australia, that you end up, these women, working in woven material and working for a vision that brings something so warm and practical and tactile for all of us to really relate to. We can easily relate to this idea of the imprint. The history of Arnhem Land bark painting, the optical device is the cross-hatching or cross lines, and it's said that body painting and cross-hatching came to Arnhem Land people when certain spirit women, who were the mothers of all Aboriginal people in the north, carried their children inside woven material. And as you know, when you sit or you lay on a woven mat, your body is marked with that woven impression. And so this impasto piece and working here in a way mirrors, in fact, the very historical and spiritual relationship between people and art. And on the other side you have Robyn Djunginy, who talks about alcohol and bottles in a non-alcohol society. And I came back to visit that outstation, and I saw a set of bottles there. Someone had brought a number of Matous rosé bottles, a number of wine bottles, and we were, I was living and working with Diane Moon in those days, and we had this idea, well, this would be a good idea to make this like a Chianti bottle. So we thought, why don't we ask them if they can place weave around these bottles. So in a couple of weeks later, I came back to that place, which was pretty close to town, but we still didn't visit every week or that there. So we went there to buy material and art, etc. And we found these bottles, except they were woven bottles, but there were no bottles inside. They'd woven all these beautiful shapes out of pandanus dye. It wasn't until years later, most probably at the end of the 90s, I think, when we put her in the Biennale of Sydney. She also then started to paint, though, in these very formal warp and weft style. Cross-hatching is very straight up and down rather than at an angle, which is what most people... It's a really fantastic thing for me to be here 20 years later and see this exhibition and a beautiful set of paintings here and here by both women, and how delicate but very insightful both of these artists have worked in a way that about weaving and having an interpretation or a perspective on weaving that's different and makes us relate and forces us in a way to relate to weaving in another way than we would normally associate with buying a bilum or a tourist item. These are always seen as works of art in their own right. Live in interesting times, and I've always thought that you should chuck your life into the abyss or whatever and see where you land or what you collide with. And I know that some people, may say, have their life, interesting life, thrust upon them anyway. I've never found that I was searching particularly for excitement or interesting things to happen, and not because I'm a deviant or whatever and search out these places and people. If you look to engage with people and places, your life will be interesting and your art will be something that rewards you and rewards all of us, so we enjoy life. So I'd like to, I think I opened the exhibition or something. I love you so much.